Well, well, well. Back at it again. Getting them out today. Getting invincible right now. Got Rick here with me.
Oh,
What's going on, Rick? What's going on, Rick?
what up? What up?
Want to get this? Want to get invincible? Already 0 for 7 on getting on Anzu, getting the Raven Lord 0 and 7 still after all these years. Still don't. But this one, we're getting invincible today. Right now.
And which one is this?
This is the Lich King's Mount.
Is that the one that you tried to get?
Yeah, I try to get it like every week, 7+ times I go for this mount.
7+.
7.
So it sounds like you haven't gotten it yet.
And I'm already let's see, where am I at with it? I've already ran it on, what is it, 3 or 4 characters already, so this will be like the 4th or 5th time. Got a couple more.
You have to excuse me, I just really don't understand a lot of the terminology of it.
Yeah, you don't know. You just sit there and look pretty. Well, you're not.
Not that anybody can see
you're
me.
not even on camera, but you just sit there. You say some good stuff.
Yeah. Hey,
You say some things.
sitting here drinking a White Claw. Isn't that cool? Bad boy doing. Is that your mount?
Thanks, Sarah. This ain't my mount.
She was talking about me.
Talking about you? Are you talking about me or are you talking about Rick? 'Cause I know Rick's not on camera, so he probably does look more pretty than usual. I'll tell you what.
I have a face for radio.
So, Rick, what did you think about the old Mandalorian episode? You watched it, right?
The new one?
Yeah. Well, no, the old.
Yeah. Well, it was good. It didn't really do much, I didn't think, really, for like the story or anything like that, but...
You don't think that it showed like I'll give it this, like I think more so than any other episode it gave some actual insight onto how much Baby Yoda actually cares for Mando.
Oh yeah, I mean,
Do you remember like that first scene where whatchamacalls it, when he saves him and stuff, he like puts his arms out and reaches for him.
Oh yeah, and that scene where they were in the crash ship and he like snuggles up on him.
Yeah,
Like, oh,
it's good. It's good.
oh, yeah, it wasn't too bad. I like the frog lady and her like egg pod thing.
Dude, I didn't like the frog lady. The frog lady, I didn't mind the frog lady, but like the frog lady, the design of the creature design, it reminded me too much of like Kermit the Frog. It just seemed like Sesame Street to me.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
no, I get that. I don't know, like
It was fine.
I have to like rewatch it, I think, kind of back to it. But
And then Dave Filoni was one of the X-Wing pilots.
oh, was he?
Yeah.
It was pretty cool. Spoiler alert, how they kind of came in and like saved the day at the end.
Yeah.
But it goes to show you, like, the Republic, like, they ain't bad. They're nice guys.
Well, there's also, though, like I've said before, like one of the reasons I really liked Rogue One, though, was how it kind of showcased the dark side of the Republic.
Yeah.
You know, like that. You know, it's because it's a war. You know, and they gotta do something.
It gets dirty
some things
sometimes.
you don't want to do.
But yeah, overall, I thought it was good. To me, I thought it was more like one of those sort of filler episodes. He's just doing kind of a quest, which I'm sure.
That's the whole show, though. Like the whole show is like a Western. Just the whole show is supposed to be like an episodic, like story of the week kind of thing. Like there's an overarching plot, but you know, because a lot of people have said like we kind of have your sentiment with that episode, like where it's just like it was just filler and blah blah. Like,
yeah.
And like while I totally see that, and it didn't really progress. It definitely, it's not like it progressed the overarching story like at all, but neither did the first episode really.
No, outside of that little glimpse of baby.
Yeah, like there's been no Gina Carano or I can't remember his name again, from Predator.
Oh, Carl Weathers.
Yeah, there's been no Carl Weathers. Like, nothing. The story didn't really even pick up like a lot from the first episode. Then, like at the end, obviously, like Boba was there, but like Boba didn't even do anything. Like,
Yeah, it just kind of loomed in the background.
yeah.
And,
Which though, like speaking of Boba, though, I was telling you about this earlier, though. So if there's anybody watching out there, supposedly this was on Deadline. I can actually try to pull up the article here in a minute, but they are reporting that as early as next week, a spin-off of The Mandalorian could go into production, and then after that is filmed, this spin-off series, that they would be going into production on Mandalorian Season 3. And
interesting.
the deadline, so this isn't just some random random website that reports fake news or anything. This was Deadline, and their source in this article indicated that they are hearing that it is actually going to be a Boba Fett spin-off series.
About time.
Well, it's interesting because I feel like if Boba Fett's actually, if it's true and he's getting his own spin-off series, then he probably doesn't have a whole lot to do in Mandalorian. Like, that scene could be like the only scene that we see him in.
I hope not.
I wouldn't think so. I imagine there'd be like a scene, at least one more scene with him, or at least a little bit more with him. Than just,
Yeah.
I'm
I'm
he
sure
didn't
they
even
would.
have any lines. Like,
No,
just
they're
kind of looked
just looking pretty at the
ominously.
camera.
Yeah, not a whole lot to it.
But I don't know. Like it'll be exciting to see what direction it takes, and you know, I'm more or less interested to find out more about little baby Yoda's species. The mysterious.
Dude, I still, like
Yoda
I've said
species.
before, I don't think we're ever gonna learn more about it. Like I think it's gonna end up being where like maybe they discover what planet he's from or whatnot, but like I think something's gonna happen that throws them off course, or like in the end, Baby Yoda doesn't want to go back with his people and he wants to stay with Mando because Mando's his family now. I think that's
I can
what's
see
gonna
that.
happen. Like, because they like it's been so long with all this time, and I just don't feel like they're gonna give us any more information about Yoda and stuff. Because like all this time has come since 1977. We have like no information, or 79 whenever the first one came out. I think it was 77.
Yeah. Which they kind of purposely did.
Do what?
They kind of purposely did that, I feel like.
Well, that's what I'm saying. They keep it like so kind of under wraps. Like, there's been like no details about him or his people in any expanded lore. Even like there's been like nothing about Yoda's race of people. And I don't know. I just feel like it'd be kind of odd for them. Honestly, in the end, I feel like it'd be kind of odd for them to actually like give any more information about that. Even though Baby Yoda's a character in the show, it's a Mandalorian show.
Do you think we'll see a Mandalorian Baby Yoda?
Get
him a little helmet.
Like he'll be in like some Mando armor.
I mean, you'd never say never.
Yeah, I did like the jetpack scene though.
That was good.
That was
I like
really
when they did
good.
that, because for a second I was like, oh shit, he's using his jetpack. But lo and behold, he did not.
Well, I mean, you had to know as soon as some fool held a knife up to Baby Yoda, you know Mando wasn't gonna let that dude live.
No.
Like, he's like, oh, you're gonna die, dude.
Yeah.
It's like you
Wasn't
might
very
not die
clear.
right now, but like he's
Who were
gonna
the-
find you and kill you.
Who were those people though? That squad. Just like some random like.
I think they were just random bounty
Desert
hunters. They did
pirates.
say like that they were there for the child. So
Yeah. They knew about it. Yeah. But who sent them?
do what?
I was just kind of joking, like who sent them? But
Oh yeah, right.
anybody did.
Obviously, the Empire. They're the only other people who know about Baby Yoda. Because the Rebels, well, I guess the New Republic, they didn't know anything about Baby Yoda.
Yeah, they didn't say anything really.
Like, you gotta think, they would have had some indication that, like, they were looking for them too, and a Mandalorian was the one who had them, but, like, obviously the New Republic has no idea about the Baby Yoda thing.
Or Mando, he's pretty dead set on finding some more. Like, He wants to.
That's why I imagine him and Boba are obviously going to cross paths again at some point.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like, I don't really know what else. Like, why else even introduce him into the show?
Well, yeah, and I mean, really just to like please the fandom in a way, but.
Oh, Rick, by the way, you see my my character's name here? This guy's name?
Pull it up.
What?
Let me pull it up. Ambassador Flenderson? Oh, Toby.
Exactly.
The Toby reference, yeah.
I named my demon hunter Toby or Flenderson because everybody memes on demon hunters because they're just like I don't know. It's gonna be hard for you to explain to you, but they're a 2-button class. They have 2 buttons, and then you're playing a demon hunter. All you need to know is 2 buttons, and it's just kind of like this useless. They were like super overpowered, but like nobody liked them. So it's just like, you know what? I'm gonna name this thing Toby, essentially.
I hate everything about what you choose to be.
Dude, I love that show.
Oh yeah, you can never go wrong with the odds. I remember when we watched the the follow-up episode to the series finale, and it was just like, oh man, this is actually making me emotional.
Yeah, dude, it was actually sad, man. It was sad. It was like partly sad to see it go. I think it was probably just more sad that you knew it was the last one.
Yeah,
that's probably what made it more sad.
Yeah, I would say so.
But I mean, sometimes though, when I've rewatched it, and both like Andy and Pam's last lines that they have, like talking to the camera,
yeah,
they get me.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It gets me. It's like Pam has the, you know, she chases after. Well, actually, no, this is a different one. You know when Michael Scott's last episode?
Oh yeah, yeah.
When she chases him to the airport, that one also gets me.
Yeah, there's a lot of moments in that show that are like hilarious, but at the same time, like really heavy and emotional.
It's very heartfelt. A lot of it, like the show is actually quite emotional, quite dramatic.
Speaking of which, I want to go back and get it. Sarah, like it, I think. At the store the other day, I saw a Shroot Farms beanie. With a
yeah?
Yeah. It was like really awesome.
Oh yeah, you remember the people when we were walking? The people had the thing in their car. Remember that? The window visor thing.
Oh, was it like a Shroot Farms one?
Well, no. Remember we saw it when we were walking around.
Oh yeah, when we were.
Yeah, when they were all wearing the fake mustaches to go to the what was the name of what's her name's office? I'm like really good at like all this like office trivia and stuff. Like I won Game of Thrones trivia on the cruise we went on. But like when I for some reason I can't remember names right now. Like I couldn't remember Carl Weathers. Can't even remember her. What's her name from The Office, dude? Who Jim was dating at the time?
Karen.
Yeah, Karen Filippelli.
Yeah.
Couldn't think of her name. It's the lights, man. The lights are getting you.
Yeah, you're lit up. You're lit. But
I remember what my point was.
Heartfelt. Oh, the window visor. Karen Filippelli's
Oh yeah, the
office,
window visor. Them with the mustache when they're going over to Karen Filippelli's office.
Yeah, that was
It was good.
That was a great episode. I'm trying to think what like my favorite episode was. I don't really know that I could like put my finger on that and just my thumb on it, whatever you say. But I always like the Christmas episodes. The Benihana Christmas is good.
Yeah.
All the episodes too where they're actually like at Shroot Farms and you see Moe's and all that. Those are always pretty good too.
There's really not an episode that I don't like. I even liked the show, like, because a lot of people don't like it, but I liked it after Michael left too. Like, it wasn't as good, but like, I liked it. To what?
Excuse my language, but Idris Elba, like his character.
Oh yeah, he was a cock in the show.
Oh my god,
he's a big cock.
Yeah, and then you got to see like that little Jim Carrey cameo appearance.
Yeah. I mean, but I loved Robert California as a character.
Oh yeah,
like dude, he was a great character.
He was.
That monologue he gives, where at the end he's like, "I'm the fucking Lizard King." Like, dude, that shit
King
makes me geek so so hard. It was so good.
That episode where they went over to his house for the swimming party, like he is such
So
a strange character.
Dude, weird ass guy.
Weird. And then like what he went to go do afterwards, and
Yeah, man.
yeah,
It's a great show, dude.
it was. It's one of those shows that you can like continually watch, and it doesn't really get old. I mean, certain episodes might. I don't know.
It doesn't get old. I've rewatched it numerous times, like all the way through.
See, that's the thing. Like, I'm really bad about finding new shows to watch. Like, I tend to just kind of go for what I know. And, oh man, I need to branch out a little bit. I think. Open my mind.
Well, you see, the thing is, like, what happens with me is, like, anymore, there's so much to watch that, like, I always never want to, like, commit to watching something new, or I don't have time to commit to watching something.
Yeah, that's true, because you kind of have to invest yourself into it.
And then, too, there's a lot of things where, like, especially, like, Netflix shows, like, a new show comes out, but Netflix notoriously cancels things, like, after one season, and it's like, do I really even want to like watch this new show that like Netflix could potentially just cancel? Like they did that with that show Away with Hilary Swank. It ends on like a cliffhanger of some kind, and then the show's been out for less than a year, and Netflix cancels it.
Yeah,
It's like now it's like, if I had been watching it from day one, I would have been like pretty upset to know that it got canceled and ended on a cliffhanger. And then now that it is canceled, why would I go and watch it? Like,
yeah.
I have no. It's like it's just kind of
Well,
like
it's like it's gonna build up to something, and you're just never gonna actually find out.
the
what
same
happened.
thing happened with a show like called Alphas. Like it was like on like 10 plus years ago on like the Sci-Fi Channel, and it was kind of like a faux superhero kind of show, but like everyone like really liked it. And it was the same concept, and I always like
What
had
show was
people
it?
telling me it's called Alphas, but it only had like one season, and everybody like really liked it, but it got canceled like after the first season again. So I actually went back and watched it though, and because it ends on like a huge cliffhanger that was completely setting up a second season, obviously, and you'll just never get it.
Yeah,
Never get it.
I'm trying to think if there's any other shows out there like that, but not that.
I mean, there's plenty if you really think about it.
3, 2, 1.
Oh man, though back to the Mandalorian. I'm excited to see where it goes, what happens. Time will tell.
Let's move.
I don't know
Get
how
out of
much
here.
I really
Let's
feel
move.
about like
Get out of here.
if there is a Boba Fett. Like,
Get
what
out
do you
of here.
feel about
Let's
there
move.
being a Boba Fett
Get
sequel
out
or
of
a
here.
like
Let's
spin-off?
Well, the Mandalorian's
Get
kind
out
of
of
like a
here. Let's
western, you know, sort of
Get out
thing.
of here. Let's
I feel like
move.
if there's a
Get
Boba
out.
Fett spinoff, it would be really more or less just like the dirty crime
Get out of
underworld
here.
of like
Let's
Star
move.
Wars, and kind of like that show that never happened, Star Wars Underworld or whatever it was called.
Well, because Josh Trank was supposed to be making like a while back. He was hired to make that Boba Fett movie,
Yeah,
and I
he's-
gotta wonder if like they're going to be using some of those ideas.
I mean, could it be
or-
though, like a prequel to Boba Fett? Like by prequel, I mean you see how he like became Boba Fett, but you kind of saw that. In,
I don't
like,
want
was
that
it
all-
Rebels or Clone Wars
I,
or whatever.
dude, the only way I would be interested in it at all is if it picks up right now, like during
Yeah.
the timeline of Mandalorian.
Yeah, which I mean, you're
Like-
kind of seeing what's going on in his life on the Mandalorian, or you might, but
Yeah, like I just have no interest. Like honestly, like I've said this a million times, and I always get a lot of flack for this, especially from like people like you. Boba Fett is not that interesting of a character,
he's really not.
and like
I'll admit that.
people only liked him in the past because he was the only character that looked like that. He was the only one who had any sort of Mandalorian armor.
Yeah,
There's
he's the
been
one-
so many cooler Mandalorians introduced in the Star Wars universe post Boba Fett, and Boba Fett got beat by blind Han Solo. Like,
Boba Fett, where?
like it just he's not even a good character. And then like and then not to mention the stuff in the prequels with the clones, and you're like, oh, so he's just a clone of, like, it's just not interesting. Like it made him even less interesting than he was before.
I'm gonna get some hate, I feel like, for saying this, but I did not mind the prequels that much. I actually kind of want to go back and watch them.
You don't mind the prequels?
I don't mind them.
I don't mind the prequels either. I never. Now I'm not bandwagoning this. Like I mean, obviously, Attack of the Clones is the worst one.
Oh, for sure.
The CGI doesn't hold up, but there is actually stuff like I don't mind the prequels, and there's been like this huge movement all of a sudden in the last like probably 5-10 years.
Yeah.
People like all of a sudden like the prequels now.
They kind of
It's
dropped
like-
the hate on it.
Yeah, it's like it was cool to hate on them for like years and years and years, and then like all of a sudden now it's like I don't know if it's just what do you call it? Just like maybe not nostalgia, but like I don't know. It's like a bandwagon kind of thing. Like it was like now it's like cool to like it or something, or it's like maybe now that just like the sequel trilogy came out and like it is like so divisive that people look back on the prequels and they're like, I guess they weren't that bad.
Jar Jar Binks was bad.
Yeah, like well, dude, you remember? Did you ever watch the anti-cheese version that someone made?
Were they like more intense without like Jar Jar and?
No, they kept Jar Jar, but what they did for him and for Jar Jar and like all the Gungans and the Trade Federation dudes, the Viceroy guys.
Oh yeah, they were.
Their race people. They essentially took out all the sounds, so all the audio dialogue from Jar Jar and like those aliens was completely removed from the movie, and they subtitled in new dialogue, so like Jar Jar didn't act like a bumbling idiot and you didn't hear his voice at all. They like
That's good.
they made an alien language, so every time they spoke you had to read subtitles and stuff.
Yeah.
And then they cut a bunch of like this kind of like useless and cheesy stuff out of the movie. If you've never, just go look up, like if you haven't seen the anti-cheese versions of the prequels, the underlying problems of the prequels are still there, but those big problems that they were able to do something about they made the movies so much better. Like so much better.
I could see that. Yeah. Takes out like the cringiness of it.
Yeah, there was like no cringiness at all with it. Like at least because they were at least able to fix that portion, which is like kind of a big.
Yeah.
This is it right here, dude. I'm getting them out right here.
We shall see.
Right, we're gonna get it.
I got a pretty interesting video I found. I'll send it over to you here in a minute.
Yeah.
But just
Check it
another mysterious lights in the sky sort of thing.
Here it is.
Get that mount.
I didn't get it.
Well, you
I didn't get it.
Post this in the Discord here. A lot of videos from this behind the scenes channel.
Never fear. I was prepared for this. I was prepared. I got another character. Just ready.
Another
waiting.
character?
To what?
You got another character?
I got another character ready and waiting to kill the Lich King right now.
Ooh. Yeah.
This is it. Prior to the stream, I ran all the way up to the Lich King on my DK. Cleared the whole thing. Now I'm gonna go kill the Lich King. I'm gonna get the mount.
Yeah.
100%. I knew I wasn't gonna get it on the Demon Hunter. I knew it. This is it. The time is now.
The time.
All right. Do this.
Congratulations.
It's a pretty big scythe he got there. Speak softly and carry a big stick. You know where Roosevelt?
We'll grant you a swift death, Arthas. More than can be said for the thousands you've tortured and slain.
To turn off. I have this Arnold Schwarzenegger mod, and it's like really annoying on this fight.
Arnold Schwarzenegger mod.
Yeah, he like it's just Arnold's voice every time. I can't remember where it is. Where is? I thought it was right here. Token alerts.
So be it.
5, 4, 3, 2.
It's just like when it's like when you gotta move and stuff, it would be like Arnold saying like "Get out of here."
Oh.
But it just like there's this part on this fight where he just like it doesn't stop.
What kind of like mods can you actually do to the game?
4, 3,
You can't really do anything in this, but like you get add-ons in this game, like primarily. Like my whole UI is not how the game actually comes. It's all third-party UI.
Yeah.
Like my health bars and my
We know there's a lot of games out there that you can like really go ham modding.
like GTA and Skyrim.
Oh my gosh, yeah. There's people on Twitch and that sort of stuff that go absolute.
Some GTA mods are fun, but like honestly, like I always have felt like cheats were fine in GTA. Like I never really needed to mod anything in
Yeah.
GTA. When it's just like I can just turn on cheats and just like go dick around and shoot people and stuff. And, like, really all in the game, obviously, the game in Grand Theft Auto.
I'm on your profile. Good. Sort of good.
Did you
Hey,
what was I gonna say? Did you send me that?
I just sent you one. Just
Where
sent
did you
it.
send?
To the same place I've always sent them.
Oh, okay.
Seeing it?
Yeah, I see it.
Gordon Ramsay being served the world's worst fish dishes. Gordon Ramsay, anything's pretty entertaining.
The what?
I'm just looking at these videos that are like showing up in the suggested.
Oh, dude, I've been watching a lot of Kitchen Nightmares.
Oh my god, there are some absolutely.
It's a great show, dude. And it's a great show to have in the background. Like I just sit here and do this.
He gets so pissed.
Dude, but that's the thing, man. People think that he just is like some dick and gets all mad and stuff, but like,
It's frustrating.
if you watch the show, it's perfectly valid. Everything he's mad about, there's reason for it.
Albeit he's a little dramatic, but
Yeah, but for the show,
I mean, yeah,
it's for the show.
TV show. Hmm.
No more, Arthas. No more lives will be consumed by your hatred.
Okay.
Serious entities recorded on security cam.
This is it. This time for sure. This time for sure.
You're gonna get this mount? You gonna mount it?
Didn't get it. Didn't get it again. I got one more character I can run it on. One more. Both.
How many of these guys do you have?
I have 7 characters.
So this is another one of those like mysterious lights in the sky.
Take a look.
Yeah, you
How
might
mysterious
need
is it?
to fast forward just a bit.
I should.
Yeah, I mean, like right now, kind of thing. Like,
Like
maybe
you-
go back a little bit. Just has one of those like introductions to it.
Right here. Let me log over. then this is it. Actually, do you see this? See this? This is I'm actually kind of bummed out. This character has my name. Like I gave this character the name Bifo.
Brewmaster Bifo.
Yeah, and I don't even play this. Like this isn't my warrior is my main character. Like at this point, that's the character I enjoy playing the most. It was my mage, which was Young Sosa. I got that name years ago.
Yeah.
But then I named all these other ones like some variation of Bifo, right?
Yeah.
And like Rob Bifo.
Rob
So like I gave him my name, and like I was kind of bummed though because I got Bifo. And at first, when I first started playing BFA, because I didn't play BFA at launch, I made this rogue, and I went ahead and named him Bifo. And I inevitably, once I unlocked this race of character, the Zandalari Troll, I started playing the warrior, and I liked the warrior a lot more. And I had named him Theo. What's still a good name? I like Theolonius.
Yeah, that's
not
bad.
It's a good name. It's a good name for a warrior.
It's a good song.
It's a great song. That's why I did it. Cornelius was taken. So I was like, you know what? I'll name him Theolonius. And obviously, I got that one. It just kind of bums me out that I can't. I don't want to pay to like switch both those character names.
Yeah.
It's kind of annoying.
You have to pay to switch the character names?
Yeah, it's like $10, $15, $20.
They milk you. Everything.
That's why I'm not doing it. That's exactly why I'm not doing it. All right. Check this
UFO video.
Check out this UFO. This is not too long ago, a week or so ago, in New Mexico, star-like line of unknown lights moving steadily through the sky.
It's on Dad's camera. It's on Dad's camera. Figure out what that is, science. If it was a meteor thing, it wouldn't be drifting, and it would go fast. And it would be much faster. Let's see what the line is. Remember you saw the line is.
Is it some audio we've got here?
Do what?
Some audio we've got here?
I don't know.
Yeah, they're talking.
My phone can't catch it.
I thought it was like higher, like it was an airplane.
It's just so hard to say what like a floating light in the sky is. You draw your own conclusions.
I mean, it is moving. It's not moving like an airplane would, like I guess.
No. Just kind of chilling up there.
Yeah.
Would it be? Just...
That one that we saw, the ISS clip.
Oh gosh,
that was something.
That was that definitely.
Like, I don't think that was fake. I don't think this is necessarily fake either. But is this? Kind of, it's hard to tell. It just looks like a light.
What do you think with like UFOs and stuff like that? If they are visitors from like another planet or realm, whatever you want to call it, you'd think they'd have the technology to just cloak themselves. So like,
that's what I've always said. It's like why let them be seen at all?
Yeah, it's like if they're just simply observing, they're like, we're just gonna have this bright light up in the sky. And I just think there's a lot of fake videos like that out there.
Oh, yes, tons.
Well, it's so easy to fake too with modern video editing software.
It's so
That's
exciting.
Yeah.
It's very exciting, but I'm so glad you saw it because I would be trying to explain it to you.
Very exciting.
Where is it?
Yeah, because I'm looking this way. I was looking that way.
Which way were you?
But see,
Yeah,
you
which
know,
way?
It's
Which way?
not a drone because if it was a drone, it wouldn't.
Is that it, guys? That's what we got.
That's
here?
what you have, yeah. Maybe that wasn't such a good clip.
Okay,
Well,
so
I'm not
I'm gonna turn
blaming
the
you,
camera
Brick.
off, and if it
I
appears
tried.
again-
Tried. See like some other random goofy ass videos I can pull up. God, there's been a lot of pictures coming out like from the surface of Mars where people are like, oh look, it's a crashed ship or it's a person on Mars or whatever. That is all bullshit to me.
Oh yeah,
They're
for
just
sure.
rocks.
Yeah,
Blurry pictures of rocks.
yeah. Like, what? How can you come to that conclusion? Like,
There's actually a term for that, like seeing objects and things that aren't actually said objects. And
Yeah.
I forget what the word is.
I feel like that's what, like, most of the time it is with like paranormal stuff with like ghost videos and things. It's like, especially
yeah.
when you're like specifically looking for that kind of thing, like your mind will morph the shapes and make you see it because like you want it to be there. You know what I mean? And not all the time. Sometimes those are like really good ones where like just watch it and you're just like, yeah. But
Yeah.
then like when you're actually in the situation, there's like plenty of times if you're just like it's dark at night and I'm just like sitting in the house or something, right? And maybe I'm watching something like that that's kind of spooking me. Like
Yeah.
I'll just start to like it's dark in the house and then like I'll think I see something. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And it's
yeah,
like
out of like your peripheral vision
yeah,
or
like peripheral
something.
vision. It's just like it's only because I'm like thinking about it and I'm like spooked. You know what I mean? Like otherwise, it's like there ain't shit there.
I've been having some wild dreams lately, and last night in particular, I had this like really sketchy dream, and it's hard to explain, but like it is very weird waking up from that sort of thing. Like, damn, you know.
What kind of dream?
I was like in this house, from what I remember. And I remember at one point walking into this bedroom, and there was an old woman laying on the bed, and like she opened her eyes and they were just white, and she started like cackling or something, just shit. And I remember in the dream, just like this is sketchy, and it's a weird feeling in dreams because you feel like you're actually there, and then I don't know, I don't know what it is. Like I've just been having dreams every single night. Like sometimes I wake up almost like mentally exhausted from it.
Yeah.
Just because they're so in depth and so intense, and they're not always like bad or anything. They're mostly just random and weird. But have you ever heard of like the lucid dreaming stuff?
Yeah, I don't know how much I buy that, but people say like do it.
Yeah.
I just feel like anytime I start to come to in a dream, I wake up.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like I
That's how
can't
it
like
goes.
just control myself, and
So
it's never worked like that.
the guy you're playing as is it a rogue, whatever you may call it.
Uh huh.
He looks kind of like a Cthulhu sort of character. Those tentacles coming out of his mouth.
Yep.
Or is that the mouth?
No, it's just my armor. I'm actually a zombie.
Spooky.
He's an undead character. But yeah, it's just the armor I have on. I had no like cool transmog to make this guy look good, in all honesty.
Yeah.
So this is just what I went with.
I think the thing that keeps me from playing this, I don't really play very many games at all, obviously, but is it's just so in depth, and I feel like you have to invest so much time into playing it. Like where you're at in
Yes
this
and
game is
no.
like years of progress.
Yes and no, though. Like you could right now. Like I'm not. It's the best time for a new player in this game ever.
Yeah.
Like in the last 15 years, there's never been a better time. Like for ease of access, this is the best time. Because back in the day, arguably speaking, it would have been the best time, like to actually do it there, because there's like I don't know, like classic and leveling and like vanilla. It was the most clean experience that like
That's the first one.
yeah, and but that was really up until now though, because now it takes like no time at all. Like I said, I told you before, like people are getting to max level
5,
right now in like
4,
6-7 hours.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
and
1.
you can go in and they redid the whole leveling system and it all makes sense now and you just get it done like so quick and
Yeah.
because before you had all these different expansions that were out in the game. So like you'd go and you'd have to get to level 120, you'd start a new character at level 1, and that already sounds daunting having to go 120 levels. But what would end up happening is you start leveling your character
Yeah.
and then you don't like just go through the expansions one at a time and then oh cool now you're at 120. What would happen is you'd start leveling and you'd be like let's say in the first expansion, but then you're like in the middle of the storyline or in the middle of the quest of this expansion and you've already exceeded the level requirement of that expansion, so you have to just randomly go to like a whole new zone now that in an entirely different expansion just
Yeah.
because you out leveled the zone you were playing in. So it was like super confusing. And what would happen is like throughout these different expansions, like there'd be new leaders of the Horde, or like a new king in Stormwind or something, and you just have no idea what the fuck's going on. Like, you'd be playing, you'd go to Orgrimmar, which is like the main city, and you'd just be doing your thing, but then all of a sudden, once you got to, 10 levels higher, you go back to Orgrimmar for the first time, and now there's like a new war chief, and you're just like, what the fuck happened?
Yeah.
And it's just because you got to a certain level that put you into a new expansion all of a sudden, but you have no idea what's going on because you're not actually playing through a linear story. All that's been fixed. You can just pick one expansion and level through it all the way to max level. Like,
Yeah.
they fixed it all. Like, you don't. It's just it's much better. It's much better. Best place the game's been in for new players since the beginning, since classic WoW, since vanilla.
Yeah.
Like 100%.
See, you're already losing me here.
To what?
You're already losing me. Just too much.
I'm what?
You're losing me with this stuff.
Oh, I'm
Yeah,
losing you?
you're not like losing me per se, but like it's just like too much for me to take in.
There's a lot. I mean, that's the thing too. That's one of the honestly though, the flip side to that, like you're worried that there's like too much and like all this stuff and it'd be hard to pick up and all that stuff. The flip side to that is all of that stuff is a good thing too.
Yeah.
Like
Why is
there's
it a good thing?
15 years of content that you can play through.
Yeah, like
You know what I
back
mean?
back content.
Yeah. So like there's just yes, there's a lot of stuff in the game, and that can be very daunting
5,
Sure.
and
4,
like
3,
confusing at
2,
times.
1.
But the caveat being, if you get the hang of it and enjoy playing the game, you have a ton of content you can go through.
Yeah, it doesn't get old very quickly. or
Yeah.
anything.
I mean, it can get old and boring. You can a lot of times. It's like a lot of games. You kind of do the same thing every once in a while, but there's just a lot of different things you can go after and do. Like, I'm trying to get this mount. It's been in the game for 10 years. Now I'm still trying to get this mount.
I don't know if we had discussed it before, but one game that always did kind of like pique my interest was that No Man's Sky game, which I know was crap when it came out initially, but the concept of it I found to be
Yeah, the
very
concept
interesting.
of it was great.
Like discovering planets, like planets that nobody else can discover or has not discovered, and a lot of cool video content.
Did you
on
hear
YouTube.
about like the controversy behind that though when the game first came out?
What?
Because they said it was supposed to be like procedurally generated. You could go hours and days, and you won't see another player. This is like this huge, massive world, right?
Yeah,
On like day one, there's a video of this. These two people were on the same planet, standing in the exact same spot, and they didn't see the other person.
so like yeah,
So like it was
Like
like,
automatically
so it's
generated.
not online and it's not this like it's just like but in their defense, there's like I watched this whole like it was like an hour long kind of like faux documentary of this like what went wrong with that game when it first came out,
yeah.
and like the developers kind of got screwed. Like it,
Yeah. Oh. What in the...
I forget who. It was on YouTube, the thing I watched though. But yeah, the game's supposedly now in a good place and is actually like kind of fun to play. But I kind of felt the same way you feel about WoW. I kind of felt about that game because I just felt
Too
like
much?
yeah, there'd just be too much and there's no real end goal with it. Like the whole game is just about, and a lot of people like this. It actually kind of turns me off with the game where they're like, I don't have a clear defined like end game purpose.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like the whole game is kind of built around just like aimlessly exploring and like discovering planets and doing these things. It's very sandboxy.
That's the kind of games I like.
And like I find those to get incredibly dull very quick because like it's like I can only aimlessly do something for so long.
Oh, I can aimlessly do stuff forever.
Yeah, I just
Story
it
of my
just, I don't
life.
know, something's always bored me,
Yeah.
or it seems like it can get boring.
I get that.
Yeah.
One
'Cause,
thing... Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say like because like with this for instance, like I'm running through this to get this mount. Like I have a purpose for running this. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, I mean, but is
Everything
there...
I do, I have a purpose for doing it.
What I was going to ask, like, with WoW, is there, like, an end goal that you're attempting to reach other than, like, leveling your characters up, or...
Yes and no. It depends on it.
You can't
that's
beat
thing.
the game.
You can't really beat the game. Like, you know,
You can be very good at it.
you
what I mean.
can beat the game. There are people. I would say it depends on what you define beating the game. In all honesty, because like some people would define the game as like getting all the achievements,
Yeah.
and like there's like a lot of achievements, and I think there's only one person in the world who has every single achievement in the game. So if you can think about that, it's been around 15 years, and there's like one person who actually has gotten every achievement. So like, if you want to consider that to be beating the game, then yeah. Oh, sorry, it's a wrong.
I was gonna say
Nothing
it was
exciting happened.
Yeah, I hear noise, but
Yeah.
I see nothing.
That's the only problem with having that on a mouse button.
Oh.
I have that keybind in Streamlabs on a mouse button, but it's also a keybind on this character for an ability. I should probably change that. But you can submit topics and questions to the show by emailing us at honestanduneducated@gmail.com, everybody. honestanduneducated@gmail.com.
Send us cool things to talk about.
Yeah. It was just that's how he should have done. You should have been like, oh, yo, dude, say this real. You got the thing up.
I didn't want to.
Yeah. No, I'm glad you told me.
What was I gonna say? What do you think? And we don't have to get into details or share opinions or anything like that. The current climate in the United States, pretty crazy.
I think, dude, like, it just needs to be over.
Oh, I agree. It gives me anxiety.
Yeah, I just want things to go, like, not that they're not normal, we'll say, but I just want things to be normal again.
Yeah, not everything be a
Like, I don't, yeah, it's like, I
Argue
don't
it.
like turning on, like, you know, just getting on YouTube and half the recommended videos are about, like, the election and shit. And it's like,
Well, so much of it's like fringe conspiracy videos too, with no actual basis in
Yeah.
facts or anything, and it's just it
I
makes
feel-
it
Yeah, I just feel like a lot of people are going to be happy when it's over, even no matter what side you're on.
happy in general. Yeah, not
Yeah.
like necessarily happy with the results.
Yeah, not happy with either result, just happy that it is now over.
I don't watch a lot of TV, but the one thing that always drove me absolutely nuts for like the last year, really, everything turned into political advertisements. Like, this person's bad. No, this person's bad. And they're lying, you know, and it's just like, jeez.
I hate to, just not part of, not really necessarily has anything to do with like the election or anything, but like, I hate that anymore. Like, everything, it has some sort of like, is made political in some way.
Oh yeah, you
And
can't
it's like,
get on Facebook now.
yeah, it's like, no, like, not everything is political. Like, you don't have to argue everything. And that's the thing too, like, politics doesn't mean blatantly just arguing with people. I feel like people think that.
People
It's
really
like-
do think that.
Yeah, it's like, you don't have to make anything political. You don't just argue with people for the sake of arguing with people.
I'm on like some of those yard sale pages on Facebook where it's just like random people selling stuff, and like, but it could be selling like a pair of used socks, and it would be turned into like a huge political argument because somebody makes one comment, and it's just like, shut up.
Yeah, it's just like, dude, I just wanted to buy some socks.
What I'm saying?
Like, what is this?
There really are people, by the way, that sell like stuff on there. It's kinda
That's
weird.
disgusting.
Yeah.
Who,
It-
who the fuck's looking for used socks?
Dude, there was somebody selling, I remember on there. Remember all those AOL discs that they used to send out in the mail?
Yeah.
They had like a collection of those, and they were trying to get rid of them for like $100. And it's like, what the hell is going to buy
Yeah,
that?
what purpose would that
I mean,
be?
unless you're like an AOL Instant Messenger collector fanboy or something. Kinda stupid.
Does that? That's not even a thing. Like,
I miss
of
AOL
all the things
Messenger.
to collect, AIM is still a thing. You can download it and use it.
Does it still have the same noises? Because they
Yeah, it does.
were oh man, I miss AIM. I miss like getting home from school, getting on there, and like talking to all your friends. And I remember back in the day, I would have random people on my friends list that I didn't even know. And I'd just be like, hey, what's up? And for like hours we just conversate. And
Those were the good old days.
yep. And that noise, like I said, it was like intoxicating to hear that. Kind of the same thing with what was it, MySpace. you know, just getting on there, like, new messages, new friend requests, new comments. And you could do, like, little mini vlogs on there. And, you know, like, MySpace had no political control, no agenda, nothing like that. It was just MySpace.
Yeah, but then people realized you can weaponize social media.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. I really don't like social media for that reason now. But
Me either, man. And Sarah and I were just talking about it, like, is it would actually, like, just so, like, to get more people to, like, come to the channel and things like that, like, we should be a lot more active and vocal on social media.
yeah.
But, like, I just don't like social media. Like,
Yeah.
like I just don't, like, want to do it. It's not that I have anything against people who do like it, and, like, there are obvious benefits to social media, like advertising and things like that, like marketing and, I mean, connecting with people and staying in touch with people. Yeah, like, but I don't know. It's like, I feel like, how many, like, long-lasting relationships are made over social media?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I've had longer-lasting relationships with people in video games that I've played with than I've ever had.
People
on
that you've
social
never
media.
met that are just like
Yeah.
game with. I have a friend of mine actually that I work with who is traveling to Chicago later this month to meet up with like all these people that have been his best friends for like over a decade, and, you know, video game chats and sort of thing, game together. They've
Right.
never met each other, but it's weird like how you can form those sorts of bonds and connections.
Yeah, and you can do that with video games. I've never heard of anybody doing that on social media. Like, yeah, there've been, like, people who have met, like, and dated and things like that, but, like, I don't know. Anymore, it's just, I don't know, I feel like it's just used as a tool, used to advertise, used to market, used to weaponize ideas. I don't know. It's not very good. It gave a lot of people who, like, in my opinion, like, shouldn't have a voice, a very weird voice.
Yeah, I
You know,
I
like-
can see that.
There's just been a ton of stuff, like, a ton of bad things happen on social media too, like fucking underground sex rings and trafficking and all this
God.
stuff. It's just like this messed up stuff that would never be possible if it
Yeah.
just didn't exist.
Yeah, you definitely uncover some pretty weird
Yeah.
shit. Well, it's like the deep web. Like, I've never got on there, but like you hear things, and that to me, that's some sketchy shit. Well,
The
is, there,
internet's a sketchy place.
is the deep web and the dark web? Those are two separate things, right?
No, that's the same.
It's just like I don't even really know how to explain it, other than it's basically like hidden. You have to like go through all kinds of loops and whatnot to access it. But I mean, there's some really bad things on there, but there's some really interesting things, from what I understand as well. And
It can be.
yeah,
I mean, it's also, I mean, it's kind of like it anywhere, really. It's just like there's always something effed up. If you look hard enough, there's plenty of things that are not good everywhere you go.
yeah, that's true. I mean, you can find bad stuff in basically everything nowadays. But, you know, back to like the AOL stuff, like I miss the simplicity of those. Like before, that was well before like MySpace or social media or any of that sort of stuff. At least it was for me. And that was like the beginnings of social media. Like updating your profile, and your profile being that little box that's just like a
Little
me
box
sort
that
of
you
thing.
had, and people always put like song lyrics.
Yeah, I remember when
A list of all the bands you were listening to.
I think I had like a Linkin Park buddy icon, and I thought it was so cool.
Right.
And yeah, you could like switch those up. But oh man, I remember, like, I'm gonna sound like an old man, but I remember in elementary school we used to have those things they called computer labs, where it's just like a room full of computers. And they brought us in like first or second grade, and they're like, "We're gonna show you guys something kind of crazy today. It's called the internet." And I was like, "The internet?" And I think the first thing I did was look up like Batman toys or something, if I remember correctly. Just like, it's like 7 years old.
What they called it, Dan, was the World Wide Web.
The World Wide Web, using like Netscape Navigator.
Ask Jeeves.
Ask Jeeves. That's still a thing, surprisingly. But
I remember asking Jeeves all kinds of stuff.
was he really? I mean, it was kind of like the beginning of Google. I remember Google back in the day. But it's funny, like, how little content they had on the internet back then. You know, things weren't like nearly as developed or anything like that compared to how it is.
I mean, dude, you remember YouTube used to not be owned by Google. There used to be Google videos.
Oh yeah, I remember when I discovered YouTube. I think I was watching like skateboard videos or something like that as a kid, and pretty wild. But the internet. I'm gonna tell my kids that someday. Just like your dad remembers the beginning of the internet.
Back in my day.
Yeah, back in my day. But by the time I have kids, you'll be able to like download. We'll be like interconnected in the matrix.
Right. Okay. This is the last one for the week I can do. Unless I get another character to level 50 before Tuesday on reset day. This is the last invincible run I can do.
Invincible. What makes it?
That's the name of the mount. This is the mount.
So like you can only do it so many times in a.
You can only do it once a week.
How long does
That's
the
the
actual like? I don't even know what to call it. Like the quest, like going to get it. How long does it take from like start to finish?
Well, I just started it on this character. Like right now, it only takes me like 20. It takes about 20 minutes to run through Ice Crown Citadel, the raid for it.
I was gonna say, is that like what they call raids?
Yeah, this is raid.
Interesting.
But like,
See,
here's the if you pull up the stream, I'll show you the mount.
oh, I got it up.
You got it up here.
I got it up.
If you're watching the stream, this is the mount.
More than can be said for the thousands you've tortured and slain.
And it has wings there, so it can fly and stuff. So it's a flying and ground mount.
Pretty cool looking horse, or whatever it is.
It's a horse.
There's horns coming out of its stomach.
It's his ribs. It's an undead horse. This is a dead horse. I think that's actually part of the saddle. It's kind of hard to tell if it's actually his rib cage or like part of the saddle. It's kind of. I think it's supposed to be the rib cage, but like it's kind of also hard to tell because they have it going up here as well. So and that looks like it's part of the armor.
Yeah.
So this is it. This is when I get the mount. Popping CDs, man, it's gonna be tough.
Intensely watching.
10-year-old content.
Oh, this is the Lich King. The Lynch King.
Lick King.
Lit King.
All right. That's it. Now I have to wait here for a minute. Who was here? Who was here when I got it?
Who? I don't.
You're here, Rick.
Yeah.
That's who's here.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
Boy, I'll tell you what.
Oh, I'll tell you what.
I didn't realize either, like, today was actually Friday.
Yeah.
Until I woke up and I saw that someone, I think it was honestly, I woke up, got on YouTube because I came out here to just work, do normal things, and opened up YouTube, and I saw Jeremy Johns had posted a review of season 2, episode 2 of The Mandalorian, and I was like, it's Friday?
Yeah,
What?
damn, I've got to watch
I
it.
had no idea.
I thought about that like half the way through my work day today. I was like, oh, good episode.
Was that the only alien video you could find me?
It's just hard digging through this content. Like, let me see.
Been no UFO news.
Good point. Yeah.
Do what?
So let me see if there is any like.
I still, dude. I don't know how I feel about those aliens that or the UFOs seen around like the sun and stuff.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, I don't know.
That could be so easily like digitally manipulated.
Multiple UFOs emerging from the dark side of the moon.
Alien abduction. Or no, that's not an alien abduction. It's a literal abduction. Never mind. Got on tape.
I don't want to watch that, man. Probably get banned.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Yeah.
This stupid looking rogue. When we get them out, boys. And I don't have to ever come here again. Out. Damn it. Guess I'll be here next week. Shit.
You've got to literally wait an entire week. Oh yeah, we just talked about that, but
yeah,
brewmaster. Why is he a brewmaster? Does he make beer?
Yes. Honestly, it's just the only title I thought sounded cool with Bifo.
Brewmaster Bifo. I'm trying to
Yeah.
think if there's any cool ones I can off the top of my head.
Yeah.
Legion. Is Legion the newest expansion?
No.
Can you just like hop back and forth between the expansions?
Yes. That's what I was saying. There's like so much stuff. Like there's like a ton. That's what like I was just doing Wrath content, trying to get the Invincible.
Wrath content. Oh yes.
Wrath of the Lich King.
Know all about that. Oh, Wrath. Oh, got it. Man, I've been working 12 days in a row. I'm finally off for the weekend. I can't wait.
Dude, I hear you.
Delta flight hit by mysterious object damaging the nose cone. Looks like hail damage to me. Disclosure of UFO debris gathered from Canadian UFO crash. UFOs on the dark side. These are all things that are up on that page. You had
Yeah. Yeah, I started looking, but then I was trying to see what I wanted to do in here.
Okay. You might be able to sift through it and find some cool stuff, but mysterious shapes. I like the short but sweet ones. Like I don't want any commentating. I don't want anything. Like
Yeah, no.
Just play it.
You just like
Show me what you got.
Give me some aliens on camera, man. That's all I'm looking for.
Right?
What we're doing. I'm going to the Firelands. I'm going to try to get the pure red Firehawk. I still don't have it.
It's so difficult to tell what I'm even looking at in some of these.
Huh?
I'm just saying it's so difficult to even like tell what I'm looking at in half of these videos. It's stuff that I don't even think is like necessarily worth looking at. But alleged UFO hovers in the night sky over Area 51.
Oh, where are we at? We're still
Goodness.
sitting here. We're still sitting here.
When will it
Like we still
end?
don't know. That's why I thought it was crazy. Like earlier this morning, like Georgia and Pennsylvania flipped blue,
That was surprising.
which was definitely like I mean, Biden kept coming out and saying like, I got a good feeling about Pennsylvania, and the whole time it was like still red. And I was just like, huh? Like, man, you got more intel than I got. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, I don't know anything about it.
True.
But yeah, it was crazy to see that. But then, like, I think I was telling you earlier, like, they're 99% reporting, and then Georgia is also 99% reporting. I will say one of the two was at 98% earlier this morning, so they did make progress.
Yeah, I think it was Georgia or Pennsylvania.
Yeah,
one of them was
was 90.
99%.
One of them, yeah. Now they're both 99. So, like, I figured they'd have these ones done today.
Yeah, you'd think like
Like,
I can't really tell you the last time I've had an election where it's gone on for days where you didn't know like a clear winner.
well, it's like I said, dude, because a lot of those states they weren't able to do the early counts for the mail-in votes, man.
Yeah, that's true.
Like they voted against allowing the early opening. But yeah, it's crazy. Crazy.
Some of these things I'm seeing are not like quality videos to watch, but it's stuff I almost want to like save just to watch myself later on.
Those insects, you dare trespassing in my domain.
May your feet find good trails.
You'll be purged in living flame.
UFO becomes visible after being hit by a lightning strike. Oh, videos unavailable. Seriously. What do we got here? Creepy ghost sightings out on camera. Those are always weird when you have like those pictures where it looks like there's something else in like the background of like a family
Yeah.
photo or anything like that, but not always
Yeah, I mean, we could watch this. We were requested to watch this at one point.
yeah. Wait. If you
Okay.
would.
Take a look at this. See where it actually starts here.
Paranormal photographs and encounters that have never been shared.
But some of the best stories are those that have never been told. In this video, we'll look at 5.
We're looking at
paranormal
5
photos, videos, and
creepy
encounters
paranormal
that have never
photographs and
been shared
encounters that
before.
have never been shared
So
before.
as always, sit back, hit those lights.
Not Corona. The coughing.
COVID.
No, at work it's crazy. Like somebody starts coughing,
River
everybody
Pool
just like
Spirit.
instantly turns around,
Jared
stares
from
them down.
Guatemala in
Right.
Central America sent us this first one.
do we
Jared
got
and his
here?
family live in the city, but his mother owns some land just outside of the city. The area is
Interesting looking
remote
area.
and has lush green landscapes and clean rivers, and Jared and his family go there to stay at least once a year. Well, about a kilometre away from the cottage they stay in is a natural river pool known as Rettery. That is a perfect place for the family to go for a swim. Although the pool is a little dangerous as it's very deep in places. One day, Jared and his brother were alone in the river pool, just swimming, messing around in the water and taking photos. At the time, nothing out of the ordinary happened. However, when they went back home to the city, they had a look over the photographs they had taken at the river and noticed something strange. It appeared that they were not alone, as they thought. In one of the photographs, you can see what looks like a little boy's head poking out of the water.
This
Take a
boy's
look.
head at.
Jared
Yeah,
knows
that
he and his
just-
brother were
it
alone
just
that
looks
day.
like there's a
And what
person
makes
there.
it even
Swimming
more creepy
in this
is that there
pool
are
that
countless
many other
stories of
people
people who have
probably
drowned in the
Yeah, I
river,
don't think that's
and lots of
suspicious at
stories
all. I
about
just think
children
that
who
someone
have gotten
actually
into
is in the
difficulty
water.
pool and lost their lives. Jared believes that he captured the spirit of a child who drowned in the pool. What do you think?
I don't think that's legit.
I know. I think that was just somebody in the water. I don't
Screaming Spirit.
buy
This
that at
photograph
all.
was sent in by a subscriber from Washington County in southern eastern Ohio who wishes to remain anonymous,
Hey,
so we'll call him
South,
S.
southern, eastern
The photo was
Ohio.
taken by his sister.
We're southwest, but I mean,
Before we
close
show
enough.
it to you, here is a bit of background. S's sister, who we'll call B, and her fiancé T were renting a small house.
B and T.
The house was located just outside of Marietta, Ohio. Marietta is the oldest town in Ohio and has a history of strange goings-on and hauntings, and is said to be built on top of numerous Native American burial grounds, some of which are still visible today. B was due to get married, but a few months before the wedding, sadly T's grandfather passed away.
Get some stuff going on.
It was his dying wish that all
Yeah.
of his belongings would be distributed amongst his family, and B and T inherited a few things, mostly furniture. Shortly after bringing the new items into their home, they began to paint and retile their kitchen. However, during the redecoration, strange things started to happen around the house. T's clothes would be mysteriously laid out for him on the floor, cups would fall out of closed cabinets, and things would be thrown across the room. At the time, the couple didn't think too much of it and continued with their decorating. B took some photos of the home, most notably of the kitchen, and sent them over to T's mother as a way of showing her their progress and usage of the newly acquired furniture and decor. However, in one of the photographs, her soon-to-be mother-in-law noticed what looked like an anguished face near the window. She asked B what it was, believing that she may be fooling around or trying to scare her. It's worth noting that S told us his sister is not like that. She is very kind-hearted and good-natured, and to pretend to capture a ghost, especially after a death in the family, is something that would never cross her mind. The strangest thing about this image is that when T's grandfather passed, those family members who were with him said that when the time came, he began to panic and scream, saying he wasn't ready.
Like,
what do you make of the
I
image?
have made better thumbnails for the show for that, like with a ghost one. You know what I mean?
Creepy tunnels.
I'm sorry.
Enzo shared
Nah.
2 photographs with us that
Nah.
he took a holiday in Italy. At first glance, there isn't anything particularly scary about them until you know the background. About 4 years ago, Enzo was in Italy with his parents, staying in a location where lots of battles took place during World War I. The area was scattered with abandoned bunkers, and one day Enzo and his father went to investigate one of them. They walked quite deep into the structure, and as they walked through the halls, they noticed a lot of entrances were cemented off so no one could get trapped. However, when they walked into one of the tunnels, there were 2 ways to go, both going left. They decided to take the furthest away. But as they walked towards it, suddenly a mist came out of the tunnel and moved towards the wall before disappearing in front of their eyes. Enzo and his father were very unnerved as they were deep inside the bunker, so wondered where the mist could come from. They both ran out of the bunker as fast as they could. However, Enzo was lucky enough to capture 2 photographs, one that shows the clear bunker and the other with a mist.
A mist.
But the story doesn't end there. Later that night, when they were back at their hotel, Enzo's father was awoken in the middle of the night when Enzo's stuffed animal toy was randomly thrown at him. His father was scared and woke his wife, and they both checked the room to see if there was any way Enzo could have thrown the toy in his sleep, but soon realized the proximity of his bed, compared to theirs, meant there was no way he could have thrown it without injuring himself. Soon after, his shaken dad went to the bathroom to freshen up and calm down, and decided to leave the bathroom light on. But as he made his way back to the bed, he heard a loud click and the bathroom light turned itself off. It's fair to say Enzo's mother and father had a fairly restless night after that.
Well, I bet.
Hmm?
What was I'm not very
Spooky
impressed
Silent
by this.
999 call.
No.
This was
Not
sent in by
impressed
Johnny,
at all.
who back in the early 2000s
I don't think there's
was
been
working
one
as a policeman in
convincing-
Scotland.
No.
One night shift at around 4 a.m, Johnny and his colleague
So,
received a radio call from a control
There's
room
this
to attend
thread
a
I'm trying
silent
to find
999
too. I
call.
thought this would be perfect
A
content.
silent
but I can't seem
999
like
is fairly common, and is basically when someone dials
find the
999
accurate-
but doesn't respond or give any information as to the nature of the call. The majority of these calls are young children who are taught to dial 999 in emergencies and decide it would be fun to give it a try. Often the police show up at a house and an embarrassed parent would answer the door, apologizing for their children who had dialed the number. In this case, the silent 999 came from a local inn. Johnny and his colleagues drove to the inn, that was a pub and accommodation with half a dozen rooms upstairs. The place was in darkness and all was quiet. They did an external check of the building and Johnny radioed the control center to contact the key holder to the building. As luck would have it, the owner/key holder lived in the bungalow right next to the inn. As she unlocked the door, she explained that there were no residents staying, as it was off-season and there was no one in the building. The 2 policemen conducted a thorough search of the building and all of the rooms, but found nothing. Johnny contacted Control again and asked them to elaborate on the silent 999 call. The controller explained she could hear someone breathing on the other end of the call, but not speaking or making any other noise. She said the call was terminated by the caller and was very crackly, however she was unable to say if it was male or female. Johnny then asked her to confirm the originating phone number, which she read out over the radio. Johnny then repeated the telephone number to the owner of the inn, as she had guided them to the only external line in the place, which was behind the bar. However, the numbers did not match. Johnny noticed at that moment the owner went deathly white in the face and asked Johnny to repeat the number. She then said, "Follow me." She escorted both Johnny and his colleague down into the cellar. It was a large cold storeroom where all the beer kegs and other chilled bottles were stored. She took them across to the opposite side of the room where an old bureau was sat. She opened the bottom drawer and produced one of those old rotary style phones. It was yellowed with age and clearly hadn't been used for some time. She then pointed to an old phone line on the wall and said that back in the 80s, the old phone was connected there and it used to sit on the desk. The phone number was written on the middle of the rotary mechanism and had a clear plastic cover on it. It was the number from which the silent 999 call had come from. To this day, they have no idea who called or how this was even possible.
Sent you something good,
Skinwalker
by the way,
Ranch
in between these.
experience.
Take a look at
It's
it.
not a
The story
video,
was
it's
sent in
actually
by
a
Maddie.
thread.
It's
and I
not
can
her personal
explain it a little
experience,
bit more
but
after
something
this.
that happened to her dad, who we'll call H.
A
H hauls
thread?
crude oil in
Yeah,
southeastern
it's like a
Utah and
ongoing
works very
story
close
with
to the
photos
infamous
of a guy
Skinwalker
documenting
Ranch.
a ghost child.
When he
in his
first started with
apartment.
the company,
It gets
he and his family
really
were required to
fucking
watch a
creepy.
documentary on the Skinwalker Ranch, so
Especially
they
the
were
photos.
aware of the strange things that happened in the area.
We'll pull it
H
up
was
once
also
it's
warned
over.
that if he sees anything out
If
there,
you want to
smells
document or
rotting
go
flesh
through it,
or hears strange sounds,
It's kind of
he
hard
is
to
to
go
shut
through.
down
It's
his
like a
pump
Twitter
and get
thread,
back
but
into
it's
his
like
truck
documented
immediately.
Twitter thread.
H went along with the warnings, but didn't really believe any of the stories. A few months later, he was training a new driver, who we'll call Mike, who he had to supervise and offer advice when necessary. Mike hooked up the hose to the tanker trailer, and the two men stood beside the truck, keeping an eye on the pump and waiting for it to fill the tanker, which normally took about half an hour. As they stand there talking, suddenly both men went silent at the same time. They both smelled the unmistakable scent of rotting meat. Immediately, H told Mike to shut down the pump, and both men got into the truck and locked the doors. It was nighttime, so they were in complete darkness. As they sat in the truck, H thought he heard someone
Dude,
whisper his name,
Skinwalker Ranch.
and as he looked out of the truck window, he saw a huge wolf-like creature. Both men were terrified, but they knew the protocol, so stayed still and quiet. By now, the smell of rotting flesh was overwhelming, making them feel sick. The wolf apparently circled the truck twice, and on its third trip around, H again heard something saying his name, and the voice sounded like Maddie's mum. He instinctively looked to where the voice was coming from, but as he turned his head, he came eye to eye with the wolf. It was standing on its hind legs and was staring straight at him with glowing eyes. The creature called his name again, but this time H resisted looking, and instead focused on the dash of the truck, and out of the corner of his eye, he saw the wolf get back down on its legs, and the smell disappeared. The two men sat in the truck in stunned silence for about 10 minutes, before getting out and finishing the pump. As they were finishing up, H looked at the opposite ridge, and on top of the hill to the left, he could see the outline of a giant wolf in the moonlight. About a month later, H worked the same well, but this time he was alone. As he waited for the truck to fill, he phoned Maddie's mum, but whilst he was talking to her, he heard a really strange sound, like someone was running their fingernails on the other side of his trailer. He grabbed a metal rod and walked around the front of the truck. Forgetting the protocol of getting in the truck, if he heard strange noises, he went to investigate, and found 3 thin scratches that led from the middle of the huge chrome trailer to the bottom. The scratches were as tall as him. However, in the darkness, H couldn't make out any footprints, so he shrugged it off as him being paranoid because he was alone in the middle of nowhere. He went back to the pump and realised how quiet it had gone. The only sounds he could hear was the pump and his own breathing. Suddenly he heard a hiss from above, on the top of the tanker. Although it didn't sound like an animal hissing, it sounded more like a backwards, distorted record. H looked up and saw what looked like a broken in half sideways human that was covered in spikes. He backed away from the trailer as he stared up at this thing,
The whole
and its
Skinwalker
white
Ranch
eyes
thing's
shot
pretty
back
crazy.
at him. He didn't know what to do, so just stood there. After about a minute, the creature made the same distorted sound and jumped off the other side of the trailer. However, in less than 10 seconds, H could see the creature standing on the same hill that he had previously seen the wolf on. How it got there in such a short space of time, he had no idea. As H stood and stared at the creature, it crouched down and changed. At first the outline looked like a bird, then a deer, then a wolf. It then stood up on its hind legs and walked off to the other side of the ridge. This was the last straw for H, and he refused to work at that particular well again, and to this day has never gone back.
The Demogorgon?
About a year after the incidents, H was asked to train another driver at a different well that was also close to the ranch. Just as the two men finished pumping and got back into the truck, their ears popped at the same time. The trainee who was driving missed a gear, and he stopped the truck. H turned to him, but as he tried to speak, no sound came out. The two men sat in the truck and stared down at the ranch, and they could see a huge light rising from the center of it that looked like someone had just set off a huge firework. The light exploded about 200 feet off the ground, and they just watched as a green wave made its way across the sky towards their truck before stopping just before it reached them. As the green light faded, everything appeared to come back, and the truck started revving so much it was on the verge of overheating. The trainee quickly put the truck into gear and left the area as fast as they could. The next day, he apparently quit. Not long after H found out that a family who lived in a trailer house about a mile from the ranch had recently vanished. Apparently the children had missed several days of school, prompting concerned family members to go and check on them. When they arrived, they found all of the livestock slaughtered, with their bellies ripped open. Inside the trailer, they found the TV still on, pots still on the stove full of old food, and food still on the table. One of the chairs was knocked over, but there was no trace of the family. H doesn't think that there were any investigations into where the family went, because it is not unusual for families who live in close proximity of the ranch to disappear.
That's
H
not
still works for
unusual.
the company, but he works during the day now. His
Why is it not
co-workers continue
unusual
to
for people to
experience strange things
disappear?
when working at the two wells closest to
What are they
Skinwalker,
talking about?
and several refuse to haul in that area. Maddie's dad told her he believes he met the same Skinwalker on both occasions. He has no explanation for what he saw, but he won't go anywhere near the place at night again. What do you make of this experience?
I think a bunch
So
of
that's it for this video.
bullshit, dude. I'm getting this mount.
Get that, man.
I did not care. For
Yeah,
that
there was
video.
nothing in there that actually was like,
I
well,
didn't
that's
think.
compelling.
Yeah, none of that, dude. What is going on, dude? What is going on?
So, no, the thing I sent you, and it's not something that we could
Going
necessarily
back to our roots
review
with this video,
on here.
to
It's like a
look.
Twitter thread, but it's this guy that apparently has his apartment haunted by a ghost child. And he's got, it goes on, it's like reading a long story, but he's got pictures to accompany everything. And it gets so creepy. And whether or not it's real, it's just spooky to read.
Do you have to?
It's-
Are the pictures good though?
Let me see if I can like find and copy the pictures. I've been scrolling through this for the last like 5 minutes. But I remember reading this a while ago and I was like, damn, that's one of those things where it's like, glad that didn't happen to me. But
Right.
he's got some photos like this ghost child like haunts him over and over and it just gets more intense. And then he finally gets like pictures of it. I'll put it this way. It's so intense that they're actually making a movie out of it.
Oh, really?
Who they is, I don't know. But who they is. That mount.
I'm getting the mount right here.
How are you?
I'm getting it right here, boy. That's it.
What is this, a different mount?
Yep. See, we're gonna get it right here. Going for it.
Spooky looking boy.
Getting it.
Little poses. Being a demon slayer, he does looks kind of demonic himself. Looks hot in there. Got some Sauron.
I had to kill
vibes going on.
5,000 demons to get the title Demon Slayer.
Literally 5,000.
Yeah.
Insane. You get so close to that fire, you're gonna get burnt.
I lied to the people, man. I said I was getting a new mount today. Not getting one.
What are they going to do?
No mount, man. No mount. Man, that's a shame. That's a shame. I gotta keep. You know what? You know what the best part about finally getting these mounts are, Rick?
Yeah.
You don't have to run the thing again. You know what I mean? Like you're done. Like you got it. You know,
Yeah.
now you're done.
You just have like
That's the
access to
best
that mount
part.
from then on.
Well, no, because I gotta run this thing. Like it takes like 20 minutes to like run through the whole thing every time, just for the chance to maybe get the mount. I gotta do, like I said, like I ran Ice Crown Citadel 7 times today, or 7 times this week. And like once I finally get invincible, I won't have to do it again.
Found
Like,
some pictures of this ghost
That's
child.
the best part.
Well, no, that is good.
See on this. Put up on this monitor. Dude, that looks kind of fake too, though.
He has all kinds of pictures he takes over a period of time, though, and like it gets really weird the more you read it. And
Yeah.
it's one of these things you're gonna have to like devote like a half hour just like sifting through this sometime. But then again, this guy could just be a really good storyteller and take weird pictures to accompany.
Right.
But the thing is, like, even his cats react to it, and like,
dude, I may have read this. I may have read that.
Dear David, the like ghost child with the dented head.
Yes, I think I did. Or actually, dude, I think Top Fives, the dude we were just watching, maybe he did a video on it. I've seen something about that before. Like either I read the thread or I saw like a video about someone talking about the thread.
Yeah.
I swear I did. Because it sounds super familiar. It was very, very familiar. Tell you what though, man, I might call it for tonight. I'm getting kind of hungry.
I'm getting kind of tired.
Well, I didn't get a mount.
We'll do the show tomorrow.
Yeah, John, you should just watch The Mandalorian.
Yeah. Oh, he hasn't watched it yet.
Yeah, no, he was in the chat. I don't do ghosts. I just watch anime. Yeah, you should just watch The Mandalorian. There's some good ghost videos. Definitely need to watch Mandalorian because we got to talk about it on the show.
Very
true. We got me and Rick talked about it off the top today, but
it's a shorter episode.
Yeah,
I think it's like 38 minutes.
One either. Like I don't know. I like actually. I'm gonna pose this point to you, Rick. That I saw someone say this online. Like I heard someone talk about it, and like I thought, you know what? I can see where they're coming from, and what they said was that they didn't think The Mandalorian was really all that good of a show, and like it's like mediocre at best, essentially. And the only reason people like it is because it's Star Wars. Like, and then it got me thinking, like, so just watch. If you're just watching the show, if you take Star Wars out of it, is there enough substance there? Enough is like, does the show stand on its own without Star Wars? Or like, I actually tried to think about it. You know, like, is the only reason I'm watching or like interested in the story at all? If you took Star Wars out of the equation, would it be a good show?
That's a really good question.
I know, and I was just like, you know what? It probably wouldn't be, in all honesty.
Well, I like it because I like Mandalorians and I like a TV show about it.
So because it's Star Wars,
because it's Star Wars,
That's the thing. So it's kind of an unfair comparison in some ways too. Like I gotta say, because like I in my head when I was like reading or listening to this dude, whoever was talking about it, I was like, I tried to apply it to other things like a superhero show or something, and I'm like, it's kind of hard to, because it's all done like the story that they're telling in The Mandalorian, for instance, it's done within the context of Star Wars.
Yeah.
So it's hard when it's kind of hard to just say like people only like it because it's Star Wars. It's like, well, it's a Star Wars show, and Star Wars itself is compelling and appealing to people. So like I get what the guy's saying, but I don't know. Like, because
that's a good point.
No, because there really are some episodes too where like of The Mandalorian, like this one, for instance, like you even said this week that it's like to you it just felt like kind of unconsequential filler kind of episode, right?
Yeah.
And then, like, if you remember, there were 1 or 2 episodes in season 1 that I just flat out didn't like. Like the one on Tatooine, hated that episode on season 1.
Yeah, that wasn't a good episode.
Like there was nothing good about it. Like I did not like it. And
Yeah.
then there were like, and there were every once in a while I'm sitting there and like I'm going to admit this controversial hot take.
Mhm.
There are times I'm watching The Mandalorian and like I'm not really that invested in it. Like I'm not really like super compelled. Like I'm just kind of like there. Like cuz like I feel like there are a lot of people who like really like love the show and then like
Yeah.
I don't love it like that. I think it's a good show and like I think the show's good. I don't think it's great. Like I will say that. Like because there's been a lot of things that like I just didn't really care for. I really don't like that character on Tatooine who we've seen twice now on this season.
Yeah.
Who was in that episode last season. She just all her dialogue and everything every time
Seems
she's on
kinda
screen
fake.
does not feel like Star Wars.
Yeah.
And she just completely takes me out of the movie, out of the show. And it just makes it seem like I'm watching something and like that's not Star Wars.
Yeah. This
Like-
is definitely a controversial way to look at it, but you know, I can see what you're talking about for sure.
Yeah, I mean it's not bad, and there's a lot of cool stuff in it. Like I like the show. I'm gonna keep watching the show.
Yeah.
But-
Oh yeah, of course.
I don't know.
We'll see where it goes. I mean, it could get better.
Yeah, I mean and honestly too, like I think here's a question for you too. Do you think the show would be good? And this is also kind of a hard question because like, it's kind of like what the show's about. But like, do you think the show would have been as popular if Baby Yoda wasn't in it?
It's a good question.
Because like I don't know.
Well, I've had people tell me they don't really understand the appeal of Baby Yoda. And the only way I can really explain it, like, oh, he's cute, you know, but that's about it.
All right. I don't know. I still commend them for being able to keep Baby Yoda a secret.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Yeah. You'd think there'd be some sort of leak or something.
yeah, you'd think. Like, is that's like the fact that they could keep that under wraps was like mind boggling.
It's true.
Like, because like no one knew when episode 1 played at the very end. Boom, there's the child, Baby Yoda.
Yeah.
Like no one saw that come.
My mom likes Baby Yoda. I got her turned on to it. She thinks he's adorable, of course.
Dude, if nothing else, I will tell you, like at least we got Baby Yoda out of the show. Because like
Yeah.
I'm not gonna I jumped on the bandwagon of Baby Yoda. I got the sideshow Baby Yoda coming next week.
I'm excited to see that.
Dude, I can't wait to get it. I'm super excited to see it. Like I want the damn thing.
Does
I
that
gotta-
mean you like the show?
It means I do like the show. It's a good show. I like the
Yeah.
show. I really do though kind of agree with the guy though that I think a lot of reasons, like I'm not gonna speak for other people, but like I'm just speaking for myself. I don't think I would like the kind of show it is if it wasn't Star Wars.
Yeah, if it was just more of like an American Western.
Yeah, like
sorta.
that's not because that's really not something I'm like super into.
No, same
You know what
here.
I mean? Like I think the what
But
makes
because
the
it's
show,
Star Wars.
yeah, what makes the show good, in my opinion, is that it's Star Wars.
Yeah, yeah.
And so it is kind of hard to take the show out of that context.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah,
I definitely get that.
yeah. So I don't know, but I'm sure we will definitely talk more of the Mandalorian tomorrow. But
Yeah, and I want to hear John's opinion on it too.
yeah, I know because he hasn't watched it yet, so he's definitely gonna have to see it.
Yeah.
What was he saying here? He said it actually didn't have shit to do with Star Wars last year besides Baby Yoda. It was just about a dude taking care of a lost kid like Logan the Lone Wolf and the Cub. True, and I'm not saying that's the thing. The show isn't. What I'm talking about is more of the dichotomy of the show. Like it inherently is Star Wars. Like he's got a ship, you know, he's got a Star Wars ship.
Sure.
The Empire is a looming threat over it. You know what I mean? And I feel like if you remove a lot of that and like remove the Star Wars Mandalorian aspect of it, and it's just like a cowboy, like on planet Earth, and the Empire are just some like outlaw goons or something that took over a
Outlaw
city,
goons.
and now they're gone. Like I don't know if it's as much as compelling of a show. Like I really don't. If
Yeah.
if you take Star Wars out of The Mandalorian, I don't think it's a good show anymore. But that's just my own taste. You know what I mean? Because I don't think I've never sat down and just watched like a Western. I'm not really into that kind of thing.
No, I
I
get that.
like it with the context of The Mandalorian.
I've never
It-
cared
it-
for like Western movies or anything.
yeah, like I like it in the context of Star Wars. So like I don't know. Like I overall I think it's a good show.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like overall, I like the show. But I'm not gonna lie. A part of the reason I like it is because it's Star Wars. Like and
Yeah.
I like Star Wars.
Oh yeah,
Like,
exactly.
you know what I mean? That's the whole point. Like so I don't know. I really don't know.
We'll have to see where it goes.
Yeah. We shall see. Rick, I didn't even know I threw you on camera.
I know. I just noticed that, and I'm like, man, looking kind of goofy over here.
I didn't even know I did that. I'm sorry.
No,
I didn't mean to put you on there.
No, it is what it is.
That's funny. Oh shit. Let's see where we're at with this this map. We got an update here. No, still 99%. Still 49.6.
Yeah.
We're not
Gosh.
this is dude, this is 0.1 in Georgia, dude. That's crazy.
It's a difference of like what 4,000-ish votes.
No, yeah. It's like like 3,000. Yeah, it's like 4,020 people. 4,020 people.
That's insane.
Citing it. And I saw, dude, it was crazy. There was one picture I saw online. Someone posted what was it? One county's vote count, like a county. I forget what state it was, but there was a picture of it, and that county was won by 1 vote to Biden. I think it was.
Jeez.
So like literally, it was like 4,002 to 4,003, and it's just like literally 1 vote.
Very controversial.
Yeah, which is mind-boggling.
Yeah.
Mando is a badass, though, John. I like the character. I'm
He is
just
good,
saying,
yeah.
if you take Star Wars out of it, I don't know if it's a good show. I cannot confidently say that Mandalorian is a good show without Star Wars being involved. I can't say.
You could say that for a lot of things, though.
I
Not
know, so
necessarily Star Wars.
I agree. I think it's a very unfair kind of question in comparison because, like, I mean,
it's like, would you be into
like
the
Dark
Deadpool
Knight?
movie if it didn't have to do with Deadpool?
Yeah, like is a Dark Knight good if it's just not Batman? Like
it doesn't make sense. The
Exactly.
comparison, yeah.
That's what. So it's
You watch it because it does have to do with Star Wars.
exactly. So it's an unfair question in some ways. This last episode did have some Firefly vibes to it. It did for sure. You're not the only person who said that, and I agree with that. I thought the same thing.
Yeah.
It definitely felt like a Firefly episode. Like, I don't know if you're talking about, because you said you hadn't seen this week's episode, John. So I don't know if you're talking, like, you must be talking about the show in general, but this episode in particular gave some Firefly vibes, like 100%.
Yeah.
Like this one for sure. I talk about another show when we were talking about at the top that like got canceled like way too soon.
Firefly. Never saw Firefly.
Firefly was good. Honestly, if you like Mandalorian, you probably would like Firefly.
But maybe not, though, because it
is not Star Wars.
That's-
might not, but it is a sci-fi, like there's spaceships and stuff.
Yeah.
So it is kind of Star Wars-esque to some degree.
I mean, I'll put it this way. I want to make like a custom show accurate Mandalorian helmet. I don't think I'd want to go to that trouble if I didn't like the show.
Right.
But then again, maybe I just like the way his helmet looks. IDK.
Well, I think that's the case too with a lot of it. Is just like, it's like I say with Boba Fett, dude. Boba Fett is not a good character. He hasn't done really anything. He just looked cool.
It's true.
Like, you know what I mean? He just looked cool, and everyone thought he was cool. And like, what made him cool was the mystique. I like Firefly though, John. Yeah, Firefly was good.
I've
Serenity was
never
good.
seen it. Of course, like most things with me.
Yeah, it was good. It was a good show. Definitely ended too soon. Ended too soon for sure. Yeah.
You got anything else to add?
No, I think I'm gonna get off here. So we'll obviously be doing the show sometime tomorrow. Again, guys, as I accidentally threw up on the screen earlier, you can submit topics, questions by emailing us at honestanduneducated@gmail.com. That's honestanduneducated@gmail.com. Don't forget to like and subscribe and do all that sorts of fun stuff. It helps with the channel, helps with the YouTube stuff. We all if people just it's just a YouTube thing, man. You gotta like, you gotta subscribe. This is what it is. You
Do
know
we-
what? If you like the content, you want to see more of it, then you gotta like and subscribe so more people can see more of it. All that stuff. So the show will be out on Monday. Rick, you got anything to add? Up to the podcast and everything all be out on Monday.
Yeah.
I consider doing I might stream some more tomorrow. Haven't decided. It depends on what I got going on the weekend. I would like to stream more and for longer. I just got a lot of stuff to do a lot of the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I get
It's just
that.
like it's just
That's how it's been for me lately.
it's busy. I'm busy.
There's nothing wrong with that, though. Would you rather have the alternative?
Well, I mean, if I had more free time to stream and like talk to people
yeah, that'd be
about this stuff, I would love to.
Sure.
Like, you know what I mean? It's just like that's the thing. Like outside of that, I got we both got regular jobs and stuff. I got a lot of stuff to do. Like just around the house is busy, man. I work out all the time.
All the time.
It's just you gotta stay swole, dude. You gotta work out, get flex. I'd like to do some like fitness videos and things like that.
That would
Like,
be cool.
there's so much stuff I'd like to do. Just like with the TV shows, man. There's just so many of them. You don't have time to watch them. Like, and it's the same way with this. It's like I got so much stuff to do. I don't always have time to be able to stream or make videos. I still got like 10, not like 10, but I think we got like 7 We Want to Believe clips and videos that like I just haven't had time to put up yet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's just
We need more.
yeah. I mean, we should probably get some more in the can before you go off. So we can post some stuff up.
Or I leave.
If you end up leaving, yeah, getting deployed and whatnot. Yeah. I don't know. That's about it. I think I'm out.
I'm out.
Thanks for watching the stream.
Like and subscribe.
John, we'll talk more tomorrow. Like and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram at Sir Rob Bifo. Follow Rick on Instagram at Sir Rick Metz. That's RIK, not RICK. Just Sir Rick Metz here. It's actually Rick. You're going to be on camera for 2 seconds. Boom. There it is. At Sir Rick Metz. Boom. At Sir Rob Bifo. Follow us there. And like I said, maybe I'll stream some more tomorrow. Maybe I will. Maybe I won't. I don't know yet. Haven't decided. I'll put something up if I do. But that'll do it for us today, guys. Thank you for watching. Again, as always,